We're joined tonight by head coach Laura Sharp and student athletes Mara Nira and Brianna Brady. Coach, if you would, please make an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
Well, first of all, I just want to say Sacred Heart's a really great basketball team. They are really good defensively. We met a team that I think is just as good defensively as we are, and they did a great job of turning us over. But I feel like we edged them out just a little bit defensively. I thought they had really, really hard shots, and we just did a great job. And we made history, and it's such a great feeling, and I'm so proud of our players, and I'm so proud of our community for really rallying around us. And the Blue Hose Nation was deep up there, and that means so much to our program. And when you create a vision, when you take over a program, and to start seeing your vision come to life, it's the most rewarding feeling, and I am forever grateful for this moment and this memory that will be etched in us forever.
Open up for questions at this time, just for the student athletes first, and raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Go here in front. Luke?
Mara and Brandon, just what was going through your mind those final few seconds? And I saw you guys waving to the fans, and just the emotions you guys were feeling.
Mara, you want to take that first?
I feel like the game got really close at the end, and we handled it pretty well. And also having those fans there, it just hyped us up. And I don't know, I think we finished the game really good, and it feels great to have fans that support us in our program.
Brianna?
Yeah, I agree with Mara. Just being out there and seeing all the people that came from Clinton and around wherever to come and support us, seeing all that blue in the stands, like it really put a lot of love in our hearts and made us want to play harder and play better, put a good product out there on the floor, just because people came out, took their time to come watch us. At the end there, when we're waving to them, just showing them like, we appreciate you, we see you, and we want you guys to come back, and it really means a lot that they came down here today.
Other questions? Over here to the right.
Mara, you didn't have anything going offensively until late in the second quarter. Then you kind of went on a little mini run of your own. Can you talk about how it felt to finally get the lid off the basket there? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we were reading the floor good, and then we realized that what was working was the screening game, cutting and stuff. That's how I got my points, and it kept me going. It wasn't a great shooting day today, so we realized that. I realized that, so I tried to get points off the paint and stuff like that.
Let's go to Todd here in the middle.
For both players, you guys were making history this season. You knew you could make history today. What were your emotions like coming into this one?
Mara, go ahead.
I don't know. I never been here before. We never been on the March Madness, and winning this game, I'm still in shock. I mean, we are gonna play South Carolina next game, and we just made history twice. You know, it was the first time we got all these wins. We just added another one today, and I'm just excited to be here.
Brianna?
Yeah. Before the game, I think that I was fine up until, I think, a couple hours before the game. I started to feel those nerves, those butterflies, like I'm excited, I can't wait to go. I was so anxious to play the game. So going out there, I think that you could kind of see it, that we were a little bit like hesitant or a little bit back on our heels. But then when we got into the flow of the game and found our rhythm, I think that it was really good for us. It's crazy to be playing with, you know, the greats of our women's basketball right now, currently. I think that it's crazy that we're out there just doing the same thing that we were doing to get to this point, and being able to be a part of history. You know what I mean? Like going out there and getting another win, like she said, adding to that record, and then also winning our first March Madness game. That it puts so much love in my heart. It makes me so happy for the program, for the community, for everybody around.
Go back to Todd again.
Brianna, I know you thought you were done last year, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how you got a sixth year and what that meant coming back and doing it with this team.
Yeah. So after the season last year, I put in an appeal to the NCAA, basically to get my freshman year back. I played at Riverside for 3 years, and I just put in the petition. At the time, I guess the rules were a little bit different. So I'm not exactly 100% sure how that happened, but that's what we did. I had a great team behind me, and the coaches really put together, like something to be successful and get the appeal. I got that appeal, found out, and just put my head down and work. I don't know. Most people don't know, but I had hip surgery, and so I was out kind of in the summer. So when I was finding out, going through that process, I was recovering at the same time. And then when it was time to put my head down and work, we got here and we made history.
Luke.
Brianna, what was the key in the second half? You really got going. They kept feeding you. Did you think you would be able to? What were they doing that you were able to capitalize on in the second half?
I was just trying to stick to my post-ups. I was trying to make sure that I was posting hard and giving my guards a target, because I think they were running through passes, and in the beginning, in the first half, I wasn't being as strong as I should have been playing. When I got the ball, I was trying to be aggressive at the rim and fake the ball and see if they'll bite on some of those fakes, shot fakes, pass fakes, and then just be aggressive and play strong at the rim. I think that's kind of what got me going, and then also my teammates staying confident in me and telling me to keep going to work. So I think them pushing me and my coaching staff too, telling me like I am who I am, and I'm a good basketball player, so stick with it. So I think that's kind of what put a little bit more motivation and helped me, find that rhythm and get back in the groove.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Seeing none, you guys can go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Going to open up questions for Coach Sharp. I'll go in the back here.
Coach Sharp, talking about the international and national flavor of your team, what does this win do for you guys recruiting? You're looking for more outside Clinton players?
Most definitely. And what's really cool about the international players is Tilda talks about this all the time. She didn't really understand what March Madness was until she came to the States. And I think our domestic players, they grow up going to games as a kid, watching it on TV and dreaming to play in it one day. And so last year, before we went, because last year we had so many new players on our team and a lot of them were international, we actually played, before we went to the conference tournament, the One Shining Moment video so that they would understand how big of a deal that it was. And we ended up ending our season on a buzzer beater. And then for us to be in this position now and them getting to experience, especially Tilda, she's like a kid in a candy store. I mean, it's dreams come true for all of us, including myself. I mean, I've coached for 18 years, and I've worked for this moment, and to be able to lead a team into a win in March Madness is amazing and so rewarding, like I started the press conference with. But I think any of this, we're actually getting a few more responses than we maybe did this time last year, and it's great because our media team and NCAA, the NCAA has given us great press, and there's been a ton of social media. We just do a great job marketing the women's game, and that has really changed in the last several years, and people are falling in love with the women's game, and I love all of it. I'm here for all of it, and I want to do all I can to grow the women's game myself.
Let's go here in the back.
Can you talk about how the team is a family and how much love you guys have for each other and how close you guys are and how that impacts the game on the court for your team?
Well, I think it's twofold. We have love for each other and we have respect, because when you're on a team and it's like being in a family, it's gritty, it's ugly sometimes, it's gross. I mean, I go back to some of our locker room talks after games and getting our team regrouped, and you second guess yourself as the head coach, you second guess yourself as a player, but we always go back to one-on-one conversations. I spend a lot of time one-on-one with our players, and I'll ask them questions, how can I coach you better? What can I do to lead you better? And the kids are honest with me, and I'm honest with them, and it's because we have deep-seated relationships, and we can talk really open and free with each other. And I have a great coaching staff who has just brought the family together too, and they have my back, and we love each other. And there's no coaching staff I'd rather be on this journey with. They're amazing, from our coaches to our sports information to our athletic trainer. We are a family, and it's just bled right into the team. And it's not perfect all the time. It's just we have gotten to be playing our best basketball at the right time. I mean, there were some real lows in the season and some injuries and some different things, but they just kept being glued together, and that's why we're here today.
Let's go right here in front.
Coach, you were able to hold their leading scorer, I think, to 1 point in the first half without really changing what you did defensively to double or anything like that. Can you talk about that performance and the offensive rebounding that really kept them in the game?
Yeah, I think Pryor's one of the best players that we've seen all season long. I mean, her shiftiness and her ability to get downhill. I thought we had her kind of bored in the first half, and she wasn't getting to her go-to move, and we forced her to some other things. And I think it got her a little bit frustrated in the first half. And then I thought in the second half, she really came out and was more aggressive, and she found different areas of the floor. She got on the baseline, and she went in transition. And, we did a pretty good job. We sent her to the foul line probably a little bit too much, but I'm proud of how we did keep them off the free throw line. They live at the free throw line, and they live with points in the paints. And we studied the analytics, and our kids really bought into the game plan. I don't love how we were on the on the defensive glass, especially in the first half. I thought, like you said, that was the one thing that was keeping them in the game was second chance points, and just an area that we've got to clean up, and we've got to clean it up quick because South Carolina is great on the offensive glass.
Go here in front to Lou.
Coach, what was the celebration like in the locker room? And also, what was your message? They got it to 3, I think, late in the fourth quarter. What was your message during that one timeout?
The message was just to be poised and keep doing what we're doing and keep stringing stops together. I've always found that if you put more emphasis and focus on something that's more controllable, like defense, sometimes it'll keep your offense loose without putting pressure on the offensive side of the ball. So we just wanted to get the ball in the right spots, and I thought we did. I mean, I thought we had a lot of great looks that just did not go down, and I think some of that goes to Sacred Heart is so wiry at the rim. They're strong, they're wiry, they do a good job of walling up and not fouling, but the locker room celebration, as the head coach, I've been trying to do a really good job of soaking it all in, but keeping our team focused and ready to hunt more wins and to not be satisfied. The locker room celebration was, they were excited. I mean, Naria, she says to me when I'm walking to press, she was like, Coach, we just won a game in the March Madness. I cannot absolutely believe it. And, I was excited to be in the first 4 end games, so we had a chance to get our feet underneath us, with us being the first time that our program's been in the tournament. We have nobody that's experienced anything like this, even on our coaching staff, and so it's a memory that we'll make forever. And just being the underdog of the smallest school to play and now the smallest school to ever win a game in the tournament, I love that, and we'll keep kind of playing that card.
Go to right there. Go ahead, and then Todd.
Yeah, what will it take for you guys to pull what would probably be the biggest upset women's tournament history on Friday?
Yeah, it'll take a lot for us, but I think that even though South Carolina is undefeated, I think you still got to put together a game plan. You still got to create some belief in your locker room and divide the game up in mini games, to not look at the whole game as 40 minutes and beating South Carolina. I think we got to just focus on trying to string possessions together, trying to win each 3-minute game, segment by segment, and keep it close and stay in striking distance. We've got to keep them off the glass. Obviously, they make it really hard to score with their pressure, so we've got to be really smart with the ball and finish through contact. I mean, that they are so long and athletic. We struggled to score today. We've got to find a way to make some shots and put the ball in the hole a little bit more come Friday.
Todd, over the other way.
Can you take us through the 6th year for Brianna? I guess it was a long shot. Seems like a long shot. Take us through that, and then how important the last couple of weeks have been to her.
Yeah, well, that's why she filed her appeal, was she wanted to get her freshman year back, and she just didn't play a lot of minutes, and so that's why they ended up giving her that year back in her appeal. And the Riverside athletic director was so supportive and awesome in assisting us with getting all that paperwork together. But we did not anticipate her getting the year back. Honestly, that's why she had the surgery in the off season, and we maybe would not have elected to do that if we knew that the appeal was going to go through. And so I was actually, we we were recruiting her position. We had made an offer. We actually had gotten a verbal commitment on FaceTime the same day that we found out she was getting the year back. So the timing in that was a little bit tough. I went from celebrating with my sisters in Punta Cana to having to make a really tough phone call and conversation with a recruit. But the way that she has soaked it all in has been awesome to kind of just sit back and watch the players be so happy and so thankful for the support of the community. And Bree was with me, and Bree and Paige Kenseth were really with me in the trenches of the program. And so I think it's really rewarding to both of them to know where we were 3 years ago to where we're at now, and they stuck with me and kept believing in me. And I think that's ultimately why it's so rewarding for them. Is the rest of the players came when we were having winning seasons and finishing in 4th place in the conference, but Bree and Paige were with us when it was really, really gritty and really tough. And so Brianna is an amazing human too. We tell her sometimes she should be a coach. She's really smart. She's really intelligent. You can see how she delivers herself in interviews, and she deserves all of this, just like the rest of our team.
Any other questions for Coach Sharp? All right. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.